Hello, hello. All right, what we got here is Mark Zuck with Facebook. And this is what he said in 2019. It's very interesting. Take a look. All right, let's see here.
Yeah, I know many people disagree with this, but in general, I don't think it's right for a private company to censor politicians or the news in a democracy.
Holy shit. Did you hear that? Amazing, don't you think? So anyways, I just found that, just scrolling through somebody's Facebook and it was there. So I went ahead and checked it out. So he says he doesn't think it's right, for a private company to engage in censorship with politicians or the news. So what my take on that is of course he's right. They shouldn't be engaging in censorship for a couple of reasons. One, it ain't right. Two, these social media platforms and internet companies, they have a law. There's a federal law that protects them from being sued for people who put content on their public platforms, because it's kind of like the town square. It's a public space. So with that being a public space, if somebody puts something on there that's offensive to someone, well, they shouldn't be removing it, because it's kind of like the town squares. You can't say, hey, you can't come in here and say what you want to say at the town square because it's a public space. Same with this, except for if they remove something, they're operating as a publisher. So they get to say, hey, we'll publish your thoughts, your adventures, your news, because we can report news, your news, and we're going to publish it, or they're not going to. So whenever they don't and they censor it and hide it, then what happens is they become the publisher, so they should lose that right not to be sued, because publishers can be sued. See what I mean? So the government is protecting Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, protecting them from being sued because they're a public space. And then they want to act like they're not a public space, so that they're a private company and they can censor if they want to. They can engage in censorship. You can't have it both ways. Anyways, let me know what you think. Oh, you and we're the press. So whenever I report stuff on my social media platforms, lots of times I do report news as it's happening, or I report commentary on other people's, news, or maybe politicians, their press conference, and I'll commentary on it. That's kind of like what news does, right? Different news channels, different news networks, same thing. Well, that's what I do. Should it be removed because Facebook don't agree with it or YouTube don't agree with it? Not if they have that protection law, that law that protects them from being sued because they're a public space. So are they a publisher, or are they an open public forum? Which is it? All right, let me know. Adios, mofos.